could just tune it out. Who you rooting for? They say whatever team that'll win. I say cool, cause it's gonna be whichever one I'm in. Yeah, I'm good like that. Yeah, I'm good like that.
Hello, welcome to our winter van tour. Not to be confused with the other van tour that we did that was really long and detailed and went through every little thing that we've done on the van, which we have self-converted. Anyway, this van tour will basically tell you all of the upgrades that we've done for this Nordic adventure that we are currently on right now. We are on the Atlantic Road in Norway, and I can't think of a better place to be doing this van tour. So without further ado, come on in and we're going to go through everything that we've done, but really quickly, because we don't want this to take long and then guys jabbering on about, oh, it was too long, blah 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 blah. Go look at the other video if you want detail. This one is going to be short and snappy.
So one of the most important things that we did in relation to the upgrades for our winter expedition was our tyres. So we teamed up with Max's to get some of their all-season AL2 tyres, which meet the legal requirements to drive in the Nordic country. On this Nordic trip, we've probably driven over 6,000 miles with these tyres, and they haven't missed a beat. They've been fantastic. It's been a bit of a journey for both me and Dawn, because we've not really driven on these type of conditions before. You know, snow and ice and compacted snow and ice, but overall these tyres have been fantastic. But I will mention that we did obtain some snow chains just to be extra safe, just in case we needed them on some of the more dangerous conditions, and we haven't needed to use them yet either. So another thing that we did, apart from these beautiful tyres, was sorting out our suspension. So most of the weight is on the back end of the van, basically underneath our bed, where all our water is, our electrics, all our plumbing. On our first trip, we were very concerned that we were a little bit heavy, and it was a lot of the weight was on this back tyre. So we've put triple leaf springs in the back, just to help raise the vehicle up a bit more, and just to help give us a better ride over some of these snowy and wintry conditions that we have been experiencing.
What are you doing now there, James?
So I'm down here to try and show you something else, or tell you something else that we've done on the van, in, you know, to make sure that we don't have any issues. So we have 3 tanks in the van, one underneath the sink, one underneath the shower, and one in the garage. And we've put 12-volt heat pads on all of them to make sure that they don't freeze in these very cold conditions. We've had -15 and we've had -20 on this trip, and so far the tanks haven't iced over, or we've had no issues with our pipe work. So overall, they've done the job. We got them off I think Amazon, and we'll link them in the description below.
Why did I ask you to do this?
I don't know.
Sorry. So we knew that on this trip we would have to do a lot of miles. So one of the upgrades that we made, which may really not be obvious, I'll be honest, I didn't really want to do this, but I'm so glad we did. It's these bad boys. We didn't have these before, and they are amazing. James loves to, you know, have a bit of an armrest here, a bit of an armrest there, and it's great when I'm holding Mary, because she's a little wriggly worm, to just be able to rest my arms. Not a huge upgrade, but an upgrade nevertheless that we thought we'd mention because it's made a difference in our lives.
Nice. Hi, fancy seeing you here. So, we used to have a Sterling Power DC to DC charger, and it was rubbish. So we decided to upgrade to a Victron Energy Orion DC to DC charger. We've got 2 of them that sit just underneath Dawn's little footrest that I beautifully handcrafted. Don't know why I'm rubbing it like that. And it's absolutely brilliant. It's Bluetooth enabled. You can see when it's working, when it's not working, the amps, the voltage. It's fantastic. It hasn't missed a beat. We've been in -15, -20, and it's literally kept the batteries topped up. It's been absolutely brilliant. So this, along with the batteries, which we'll talk to you about later, is absolutely fantastic. And I think Mary's a bit hungry.
Yeah, she's hungry.
Are you hungry, Mary?
Oh, she's literally pouring at her bowl.
What? Honestly, it's nothing sacred anymore. How may I help? No, but seriously, we thought we'd demonstrate our new composting toilet, which is fantastic. So no, it's really,
hang on,
it's really fantastic.
do you just want to finish your number 2? And then
Yeah. Do you want to see my squeezing / sex face? Hi. No, in all seriousness, we wanted to really shout about our new Sinewave toilet. So this shower, I will just point out, is getting redone, which is why we haven't fully plumbed in our Sinewave toilet. We got this because it will allow us to basically feed into our grey tank underneath our van. So basically will mean that I won't have to pick up the pee bucket and empty it, which is a gross job, and it's not a nice job. So the idea is that we're going to plumb this into the tank, and then yeah,
press the switch.
Press the switch, and off the wee goes.
Into a responsible place.
It's got loads of different features. It's got a fan on the side as well.
Filter.
Linked to a carbon filter, which is this bad boy. And it basically means that you don't smell your number 2s, which is very handy. It's really well made. It's been designed by a couple down in Windsor, and we're really happy with it. It's a massive upgrade on our previous toilet. On our first trip to Europe, we had 2 issues. One was with the DC to DC charger, and the other was our diesel heater. The diesel heater we didn't manage to get installed because we were running out of time. So on this trip it was very important. We bought a Chinese diesel heater off of Amazon. It's about £125, and it was fantastic when it worked. However, probably halfway through this trip it broke, and in -10, -15 conditions I wouldn't recommend going on a trip without a proper working heater. So we did bring spares, so a spare fuel pump, a spare fuel line. However, that wasn't the thing that broke, and it's very difficult when you're away, for example for us from the UK, to find the relevant part that you need. Although we did have some really great support from people as we were going on our trip. So one thing I would say is to make sure, if you do get a Chinese diesel heater, to buy some spares. So a spare glow plug, some other filters, hello, and some other little bits and bobs, because they can be temperamental. Some can go a very long time without breaking. Ours only lasted about 6 weeks before it broke. So just be aware of that when you're buying a Chinese heater. I think when we get home, we were going to try and fix the heater which sits underneath our sink here, or we might upgrade to a slightly more expensive model, which hopefully might be a bit more reliable, but you never know with these diesel heaters. The reason why we picked this diesel heater is it's very narrow and long, and the good thing about this is it was quite tall, and it had a all-in-one. It was an all-in-one model, so it had the fuel. I don't know what I'm saying.
No, it's
so
Mary.
Hello. So the good thing about this model is it was almost like an all-in-one, so you didn't need to tap into your fuel tank, because we were a bit worried that if we did that ourselves we might break something and then we'd have another issue to solve. So this one, hello, has the fuel tank at the top, and then it has the heat exchanger at the bottom, and it's an all-in-one unit, which we really liked. Hello. However, I think when we go back to the UK, we'll either connect it to our fuel tank, which we've seen other people doing, it seems to work pretty well, or we might upgrade to another model. So there's a few different options. It was a bit of a pain, and we've been really cold some nights. So again, all I would say, whichever route you go down, whether it's a Chinese heater or a more expensive one, just make sure you carry some spare parts, because they can break. especially in really cold conditions.
Okay.
Hello.
You just wanted to say hi, didn't you?
Hello.
She's like, can I please be in this? Hi, baby
hello.
girl. Hello. As James has just mentioned, the heater went kaput. So another thing that we would definitely recommend is having a backup. Et voila. So we had to buy this from some Swedish shop, but it's been awesome. It is 230 volts, so it is going to basically drain our batteries, but it's been great to have. And yes, I know if you don't have a big battery bank like we do, then it's going to be really awful and drain your batteries, but it's something that's really worked for us, so we thought we'd mention it. As you can also see, our attire, we have brought a lot of winter wear. So all of this top shelf here is just full of window shields, which are keeping the warmth in, which I would highly recommend. So they've all got the foil, what's it called?
Aluminium foil, Reflectix type stuff.
So the window guards have all got Reflectix in them, which basically really help. We can definitely tell the difference when they're on and when they're not on, and how much heat we're able to sustain in the van. So that's a definite must. And then obviously all of the different coats that we have. I actually think we've got about 8 coats in here, which really isn't efficient with space. And as you can see, there's literally blankets dotted everywhere. So, which makes a much more cozier environment, but they have been needed. Okay, well, I'm not actually going to climb up on the bed this time, but I will say one thing. As we've mentioned, our heating went, and I don't think we would have been able to survive as much as we have had it not been for one thing and one thing alone, and that has been the Silent Night electric blanket. It honestly is amazing. I won't show you, but it's essentially 2 layers down underneath our mattress protector. It's amazing. Seriously, it has been -15 outside, and yet we've been so cozy inside and warm, and I'd actually say at some points too hot. It can get hot. James?
And it also makes you want to go for a wee.
It really does.
It's that warm.
So it has been fantastic, and I don't think I realised at the time how wonderful it is. Again, it's a 230 compliance, but it barely actually uses any battery at all. Unlike the electric heater, it really doesn't use that much battery. In fact, we'll put a link down below and actually put exactly what the wattage is, because I could have that on all day long, and I think it's only going to use a couple of percentage off the battery bank. So another little gadget which we introduced for this trip, only because I think we felt that we wanted some kind of hearty, warm food whilst we were here. Stay there, Mary. And I thought, well, what better gadget to have? This has been on all night, by the way.
Oh, looks good.
A slow cooker that allows us to make chicken stews. It makes soups. I can make pies, anything really. So this, I wish this was smell-o-vision, because honestly, this is yummy.
Oh,
get in there. This is not just
any hot pot, it's a Dawn hot pot.
Ooh.
Okay, you sound a bit weird.
Look. Ooh.
You're making this weird. But basically, it's amazing, and it's kept us warm. And again, it doesn't use that much power.
It doesn't. It's really, especially on the low setting, you can leave it on all night long, and anyway, it's been great.
As you can see, the cold slightly makes us a bit delirious sometimes.
It does. We've actually had COVID during our stay here, so I can vouch for the fact that all of the things that we've mentioned are pretty much the things that have kept us warm-ish and alive which is more to the point. Yeah, hope that's been helpful to you. I hope that's given you some ideas if you are making the journey up to the Nordics, or in fact anywhere that is extreme winter conditions. I don't know if it's been helpful or not, but we've certainly had an amazing time in the Nordics. I certainly want to come back. Maybe not when it's so cold, because I am not very graceful on my feet. Neither is James actually, and we have landed it on our backside more than once or twice. So without further ado, thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. We are a very junior channel, and we would appreciate all your support to help us grow and be able to kind of spread the James and Dawn magic to elsewhere.
Very cheesy.
Oh, absolutely. I love a good cheese. Preferably Stilton. Anyway, bye!
'Cause it's gonna be whichever